Well, I was opposed to closing the libraries, and if anything I can do to help them open. I know my local library at Cricklewood is owned by All Souls, one of the great Oxbridge colleges, and so it can't just be sold off, and I'm hoping we can get that reopened. Well, it's manifested in supporting the campaign that's going on. Sadly, the Mayor doesn't control the libraries, they're run by the local councils, but I've supported the campaign against closure, and I haven't seen any reason to change my mind. Well, basically, when we planned Crossrail, the idea was that the spill would be taken out the ends of the tunnel, and it shouldn't be brought up in between. Now, if that's changed, I'd want to look at it again, because what we've aimed to do, now, is actually, as you bore the tunnel, the spill is taken out behind, taken along the tunnel and out at either end. It shouldn't be being brought up in an area like Kensal Rise.
First of all, I know that there's very strong feeling within Brent's residents about the old locally listed building, the old library building, and I'm very much with them, because both as an architect and somebody who has fought to retain some of the old heritage and some of the old local landmarks, I feel very passionate about retention of such buildings as this library. So I'm entirely with those residents, like you said, who have signed the petition, and I know are lobbying actively to retain the building. And I hope that they will be successful, and I want to see them successful, and I will do what I can in terms of putting my views across to Brent Council, to the leadership, etc. I know that Anne John has actually met the lobbying groups and spent some time discussing the issues. Now I hope that in the end there will be a resolution which will stop the demolition of this library. Yes, I entirely agree with that view, that approach, that the old building can very well sit in the way it does and actually be part of a new redevelopment. Okay, so you could have a very interesting concept whereby you got the old library building, which is a fine example of arts and craft style that can remain in the foreground with a beautiful contemporary piece of architecture as the backdrop. So what you got is the old historic landmark, okay, a nice cute building with a stunning new piece of architecture in the foreground. And one thing I would commend Brent Council and Brent planners is that they have been very successful in having some beautiful new contemporary landmarks of buildings and architecture. So I'm sure that they can again come up with a similar scheme which adds to the beauty of Livingstone Green and provides state-of-the-art modern facilities but retaining the old heritage building. And I know that people feel strongly, and I know that the council, for right reasons, want to look at potential of having modern facilities, having housing which is needed so much within our Brent area. So I think that redevelopment itself is not a bad idea at all. It can and it must go ahead if that is what the right thing to do is. But certainly keeping the old heritage building, local landmark, adds to the beauty of the local street scene, I think is wonderful, and I do believe that it needs retention, because once it goes, and I have come across examples like that. It has happened in Harrow. I fought against demolition of the old Vaughan primary school building. Once it went, funnily enough, that was also arts and crafts style building. It went and was been replaced against the huge lobby we had. What's been replaced is modern pastiche absolute rubbish, unfortunately. So you can't bring back that old building. So I hope at least this one remains and continues to contribute to the fabric of the high street.